down. Ladies and gentlemen, dudettes, welcome to another episode of the Fixasport Football Podcast. And I'm your host, Thabi, Tabi. And this is episode 5. Right? This is episode 5, man. And headlines, extra, read all about it. Right? Manchester United hire Burr as the new manager, right? What? Didn't you see the guy? He's not like, that's not funny. Okay, it's Erik ten Hag, okay? The Manchester United manager is Erik ten Hag, but he looks like Burr. Is like, he's bald, he comes from a European background, and then he's wearing like he's wearing, every time I see him he's wearing a black jacket, so but yeah, Manchester United people, after so long, right, of losing. After so long. Why am I saying after so long? After so long of having managers or picking managers, this is with the exception of Mr. Jose Mourinho, right? With that exception, after so long of picking managers that don't have title credentials, they pick a winner this time. A fucking winner, man! Right? Erik ten Hag is the new manager of Manchester United. A proven winner. The guy has titles with the Eredivisie team, which is the team in the Netherlands, the people that colonized my country, raped my woman, or not my woman, but But anyway, and that brought like industrialization or all that shit along with the shit. So it's like a 50-50, but they don't want to give the other 50. Stop it, man. But anyway, United hire Erik ten Hag as their new manager, and like I would say there's a good, there's like the positives that he's a winner already, and then the second positive is that when you're in the Eredivisie, I just said it, when you're in the Netherlands, right? When you're in the Netherlands, in Holland, just switched up their name. Right. When you're in the Netherlands and you're coaching Ajax or PSV or any of these teams, what you deal with is youth, right? You deal with young players, really, most of the time, right? And to win with young players gives us an idea that this guy can, and has that idea of handling young players, because that's what the great Sir Alex Ferguson did. Sir Alex Ferguson played with the same 8-10 players for like what, 11 years, 12 years, and won fucking titles, fucking European titles, local titles, and all that shit, championships, man, right? Anyway, he's coming to United, and like it's good because United has a good youth academy when they're not slapping their girlfriends, man. Shout out to Mason Greenwood, man. Unlucky for whatever situation, bright talent that was coming up, and personal issues just got in the way, man. Like, fuck, dude. Yeah. Okay. That's for another show. But yeah. So United has a good youth academy, good youth prospects, and all of this, in the locker. But the problem is in the starting lineup, the people that are getting the big bucks, aka Cristiano Ronaldo, they're old now, right? Not that they cannot produce, but they're old. Like Cristiano, if Erik ten Hag, which I'm sure he'll be able to do, can manage to work with Cristiano Ronaldo, the guy has another 5 years on him in the squad. Not necessarily starting any, but in the squad playing most games. in the squad playing most games, because you have top class, world class players, A-list players in the United squad, man. You know, fucking, you know. Okay, you have Cristiano Ronaldo, who's a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, right? 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, which means best player in the world 5 times, right? You have Paul Pogba, who was the most expensive player in world history, after who? Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale, right? Before all the Neymar and Coutinho shenanigans went on, right? You have that guy in your squad. You have Bruno, and talking about Bruno, like, it's not breaking news that the dude signs a new contract with United. That is not breaking news. It's not. He didn't have difficulties in the past. It wasn't like he was not going to sign the contract. It wasn't like he had problems. It was like, it wasn't like, I'm going to fucking leave the club, right? Like, where are you going to go? Like, where are you going to go? United is the best club you're going to, be, right? So it's not breaking news that Bruno Fernandes signs. Just like it was not breaking news that Arteta strips Aubameyang off the captaincy. Like, what? It's just news. It's just news. See, if it was Paul Pogba that signed a contract, that would be breaking news. Because every season, it's been like, he's going to leave the club. Even at the moment, they're not sure. That would be breaking news. When Bruno Fernandes signed, I was like, oh, okay. Right? But who am I? Shit. It's not breaking news. But anyway, what was happening? We're talking about the people, the stars, right? In United's camp. In United's camp. Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Pogba, all good players. Rafael Varane, UEFA champion, World Cup winning defender, from Real Madrid in defense. You just need 3 good youth players that can play and will fucking run, right? You just need 3 youth players that will run, and then you sort it. And that's where the manager comes in, because if he's able to manage those players, then it's that would be wonderful, which he's proven. Evidently he can do that, right? He has a track record. They can give him finance, other than the fact that he's white. Right? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. But anyway, sure. Right. And then all this talk about I think it's not all the talk. It's just, I heard Gary Neville saying that there's a 5-point plan and United has to spend all this. If United has 250 million to spend, what would be your dream United team? Since it is my podcast, so this would be my dream United, right? If United had 250 million to spend, instead, nobody, is coming to United. First of all, no player in their prime. All right, that's a proven winner. That has credentials is coming to United. That has European credentials is coming to United. Not at least for a good price. It's going to be an inflated price. Right? It's going to be an inflated price. So what do you do with 250 million? You look around you, right? I would look around me and see, okay, my competitors, right? The teams that fuck me up, right? Because now United is in the top 4, is losing the top 4, mainly not because they're losing to Liverpool and City and Chelsea's, the teams above them. No, but because they're losing to the teams below them. They're getting awkward results, getting beaten 5-0, 5-1 at Watford, right? A team that's currently fighting for relegation and has the slimmest of chances of getting out, right? So That's the problem. So what do? Go around, look below you, go to Wolves, go to Tottenham, right? See if you can pick players from those squads that would like to come to United. 250 million is a lot, At this moment, because it's looking like you're gonna end up taking Lukaku back from Chelsea. Like you're gonna it would be a good deal. That would be a fucking good deal though, because they bought him with 100. There's no way they want the 100 back, right? So you splash 80 on Lukaku and you're like, okay, that's a good striker. We have him. Pow! Will he do the running for Cristiano Ronaldo? You better. He has to. He fucking has to, right? He has to. Right? Also, that's 100 million gone. Because you go to Harry Kane and Tottenham is going to be like, I don't even think Harry Kane is going to want to leave Tottenham at the moment with the manager and the current players they have and the potential investment they're going to have, when the season ends. See, that's the problem right there, right? Does he want to leave? I don't think he would want to leave Tottenham at the moment, right? So you splash 100 million maybe on Lukaku, or you splash 50 million on Raul Jimenez, the guy who's been banging in goals for Wolves, right? Who, by the way, just lost against Newcastle, but we'll get into that. That fucking saved our asses, right? Right. Hey, go get Raul Jimenez from Wolves. I mean, the guy scored so much that he got with his head that he got a head injury, went into surgery. And we're like, nah, you know how players go into surgery and they come back, and we're like, nah, the guy still comes back and he's 32? I was like, maybe he's too old for United, but at the moment, you fucking need a fucking goal scorer that's gonna score every game, and that guy is scoring every game for fucking Wolves, man. Fucking Wolves, right? And United is like, United played with no striker. There was I don't know which game I was watching, the 1-1 draw, Fred, a defensive midfielder, had to score the goal to save United, right? Basically, hold on, Petri. A fucking defensive midfielder had to score goals for, had to score a goal to save United's ass. Right? To save their ass, basically. And now, basically, the manager played with no striker. He thought he was Manchester City for a while. United thought but hopefully the manager's gonna fix all that. So you have 250 and you splash maybe 100 on Lukaku, and you splash 100 or on another central, a midfielder, because you need a forward, and you just need a forward, right? A fucking goal getter, man. You fucking need a fucking goal getter, right? 100, 2 players, clar. Which means done. Right? And you fucking move forward. And the coach, the manager will fucking... And this is what I like about the manager, because dealing with the youth means you actually coaching, you're telling that person how to move, when to pass, what to look for, right? On the field. Because some, apparently, managers don't do that, right? They have coaches and, stuff. He's a manager coach. Or he's a manager. Fuck. He's a football manager, right? So yeah. So then you save yourself 50 million bucks on the wages for those 2 star players, right? For those 2 star players, sign on a 3-year contract, and then they get you into the top 4, man. Is it that simple? Could it be? I don't know, but fuck, doing this out of love. I'm saying this out of love, shit, for United, it's been bad, and again with the whole spending cash, stuff, saying I was talking about Gary Neville. He's the Mr. Gary got me amped, but I'm always amped. amplifier. I need to turn it down, right? So yeah, Gary Neville says like they need to spend cash and all this load for like a bag load of like dollars, billions for United to come up again, because the training ground, especially on the stadiums, because the training ground is not that good, and they can still, I mean, like if they still play, UEFA is still playing there, so I guess it's still like, and you don't need to still, like, why wouldn't you just wait? Isn't like the World Cup gonna be in England in like 6 years? I know that the next one is gonna be in the United States. I think the next one after that is gonna be in England. Isn't it gonna be in England? So wouldn't you rather wait for the World Cup and then just let them, remodel just let the FIFA budget do that, remodel the Old Trafford stadiums and all those things. I guess they'll be playing, it'll be part of them, right? It'll be part of them stadiums, and you can just, right? And you get, I guess you get a pass, because it's the football club stadiums, unlike here where the banks own our stadiums. Like, one of the best stadiums in South Africa is called First National Bank Stadium. It was called Soccer City, but after the World Cup, they were like, "Fuck, no, we're gonna call it First National Bank Stadium." I mean, Soccer City. What the fuck? You already own it. Right? Why are you getting the bag? So fuck the name. Shit. But why after the World Cup? After we play that shit. Anyway, getting back to the sports topics, and we're talking about the Premier League and all that. So, yeah, United. I'm looking forward to this manager, I'm really looking forward to Mr. Eric Ten Hag. Billy, right? Yeah, looking forward to him, and hope he does a good job. I'm feeling that he's gonna do a good job. Yeah, feeling that he's gonna do a good job. Whew. So Everton and Everton fucking lose again to Burnley. Everton lose to Burnley. Like Mr. Frank, 2 games in a row now, I believe he has lost. Oh no! Out of 7 games, he's lost 6, and then I think he's won 1 out of 7 games. I tell you what, I listened to Mr. Frank's press conferences, and I think he understands the situation, right? I think he understands the situation. But I tell you what, Burnley look like they want to stay in the Premier League. Burnley look like they, and the fixtures that are coming up, right? The next fixtures that are coming up, I think Burnley has an easier run or a better run than Everton, especially when it comes to confidence. And we know that with confidence, you've won before the battle has even begun. I think that was said by the great Marcus Garvey. I think so. But yeah, Burnley I think, a younger team, I would say, or not even younger, because with like English football, you never know, because like the oldest team could be the team getting relegated, and like the youngest team could be like the team winning. right? Which is like, you get what I'm saying. So yeah, but anyway, it's like if I was to rate basically teams, this would be the out of 3 quarters, right? Burnley would be in the middle quarter, and then Everton would be in the first quarter. You get what I'm saying? So for a team that's in the second quarter to beat a team that's in the middle quarter and like fucking, right, have an easier run of games coming up than Everton, because Everton have a job on their hands, yo. Everton are fighting for a title. You know what I mean, man? Everton are fighting for a fucking title. You know? Fuck all that relegation shit. Right? It's a title they must win. And Burnley are also fighting for that same title, yo. Burnley are also fighting for the same title. Yeah. So yeah. 3-2. 3-2. They just couldn't, up until the last moment. Like, it's a game that saved our asses too much. You know? Why? Because Chelsea got sloshed. Right? Like, ripped. You know what I mean? Bayern just got stunned. Fucking froze. You know? I don't know. Yeah. It's not even October. Shit. Right? So yeah. And then you have a team that was like, see, this is the difference with what like a manager does, right? A manager matters, right? A manager matters because without Sean Dykes, who's the manager of Burnley have no chance of getting relegated. I mean, of surviving relegation. You get what I'm saying, right? He's proven it time and time again. That's why he's able to beat Everton. Right? Time and time again. Right. And we saw this when Newcastle replaced their manager and brought in Eddie Howe. We said that on the previous podcast. We were like, this guy's a smart manager. Right? They have a smart manager, and what does he do? From relegation, now they're safe. To the point they're beating teams even though they're safe. Because they're playing football now. Right? They just beat Wolves last night. Like, I think it was 1-0. Right? Just beat them 1-0. Wonderful football, wonderful match. Like, it was good. So dope. It was so dope. I wish I had them for the win, but the odds for the win or draw was so good. So chose that. Because we want to make money, man. Right? I want to be right. Right? I mean, this would be the coolest job, like, if for a person that always wanted to be right. Right? You know. Because you eat it. You fucking eat it. Anyway, moving on to, like, we talked about that shit, the relegation, relegation battle. Seems like Watford are out of it, right? And Norwich are just gonna fight. See, that's the thing with managers again, because they have another good manager there whose name is Mike Dean or Dean Smith. His name is Dean Smith. And the thing is, they're just gonna fight and see what they make of it. So, which presents a tough time for, like, the league, the league chasers or anyone fighting for European football from number 1 spot to number 7 now, I guess, because of the Conference League, Conference League, right? So yeah, that's the Premier League news, I guess. We have a derby coming up in a few hours. Right, this is Manchester City versus Liverpool. And I tell you what, I hope I hope Pep listened to the previous podcast episode, and I hope City has their black belts now, or like blue belts or something, because if they don't, it's gonna be a very tough encounter for them. What do you mean by tough, T? What do you mean? What do you mean they're tough? You mean Liverpool are gonna whack them? Say it, man. Yeah, I believe Liverpool are gonna win the game. If City don't have any fight in them, if they don't throw a couple of shoulders, knock on a couple of ankles, they don't do that. But however, I think it is not. I don't think it's a title decider though. I don't think this game is a title decider. Because even though Liverpool wins this game, it has tough matches coming up in their league, where City has comfortable matches, I would like to say, coming up, right? So I don't even though I think Liverpool will win, I don't think we don't think we don't think it's a title decider. Oh, headlines, right? Extra. Right. So yeah. And top four is basically like Tottenham have a game today. United also have who's United playing today, right? I don't know. But it's gonna be a tough match. It's gonna be a fucking tough match, yo. Tottenham also, because they fighting for something, fighting for something. Just is the manager in yet, or is he like gonna, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, fuck. And I'll tell you what, in the previous bet we had Chelsea to win, right? And I'm just gonna tell you about all the teams that lost, because it's a few. Right, I don't have to do a lot of work, right? And then for the teams that won, you can just go to the Instagram page, man. Instagram page, it's Fixasport. At Fixasport, yeah. And then the YouTube channel will be Fixasport Football Network. And this is where you can find the podcast and soon again the live match commentary, yo. Tell you what, it's a lot. A lot of hours, man. Right? Anyway, plowing forward. Which is funny because I've never seen snow in my life. Yeah. So Chelsea getting sloshed. Basically, this is my theory about Chelsea. If it's an important game and they want to win the game, or I feel like if Thomas Tuchel wants to win the game, he doesn't start Lukaku. And I agree with that. He doesn't start Lukaku, but he did it today. And I agree. He did it yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? He did it then. And it was like cool. He played with, but putting Pulisic, he played with the front two, right? And when you play with the front two, because he normally plays with the front one, normally plays with one center forward. And if you are gonna play with one center forward, and you don't trust your £100 million, right, striker that you bought in from, right, just yesterday, really, and you don't trust him, right, then you put in Kai Havertz, who's an 70 million pound striker, that was brought in, right? And if you don't put in Kai Havertz, you put in Lukaku, which is fair if Lukaku's not performing, right? Which is fair. However, when you play with the front two, right, and you play Pulisic rather than your £100 million striker that you brought in yesterday, that's saying something. That is saying something. I really, really don't trust you, man. Right? I mean, it was like you don't as a Pulisic as a forward, right? Instead of putting in an actual forward, £100 million forward, a title-winning forward, right? Anyway, granted, Pulisic is a title winner, right? But he's a winger. He's a title-winning winger, not a forward, not a centre forward at least. So yeah, so, and who gets the goal in the match? The centre forward, and not the centre forward winger. Not the winger playing as a centre forward. Kai Havertz, King Kai, like a Dragon Ball Z character, right? Gets his goal, right? If you want to know about Kai, just look at his UEFA Champions League winning goal. Just look at that goal and see how 5 passes from the keeper to him, he doesn't even touch the ball. I don't even want to spoil this shit. He doesn't even touch the ball, and he beats the fucking keeper, yo. Not just any keeper. Like the keeper that's playing in the title deciding derby according to all major news networks, man. They have the following. That keeper that's playing in that game beats him without touching the ball. Anyway, right? So that's why you put him as a centre forward instead of putting Lukaku. But when you play a front two, you put Lukaku in, man. You put Romelu in, right? And then on top of that, you play with the back three, right? You play with the back three, and the pace of the young Vinicius Jr., future Ballon d'Or winner, if he keeps on, doing his thing the way he does, right? Future Ballon d'Or winner, combined with the experience, right, of Karim Benzema, the football wisdom. Give a fuck what you say, man. The football wisdom of Mr. Karim, with the work ethic on the right. Was it Luka Modric or behind it, right? Of Luka Modric, you get a counter attack that sliced up the Chelsea back three, yo. Like, it sliced them up so bad. Like, the first opportunity was like, okay, Chelsea has the ball and they play their possession football and they are attacking, passing, trying to find the killer pass into the, Real Madrid comes out with a counter attack and they're like, nah, we're just gonna run. Ball out to Vinicius, goes out into the wing, back to Benzema. Right? First opportunity. Benzema to Vinicius. Vinicius cuts in. Right? Not that many players on him. Shoots. It's wet. He hits the bar. Right? And it's unfair on the Real Madrid players to be that disappointed in the young kid. He hit the bar and it's wet. In a counter attack, right? It's not settled, but anyway, all is good. Let's do it again. Was that a sucker punch? No. It really has Chelsea's back three worried, because Chelsea's back three is not used to playing at the back. See what Chelsea's back three does? They play with Rudiger, they play with Thiago Silva, and they play with Christensen, right? Rudiger's always in the opposition's half. So you essentially playing with the back two and a defender that's trying to catch up from the back if he's not already there. And if he's there, which is there all the time, he's tired, right? So he can't be the Rudiger. He doesn't need to. He's not used to doing that all the time, right? So second opportunity comes. Vinicius on it, gets the ball on out wide, right? Now they know, so players are on him. Christensen and Thiago Silva both on him, right? Benzema in the center comes in drifting. You know what I mean? Like a ghost couldn't drift in smoother than he did, right? Vinicius fucking cuts the ball back like you normally what you used to seeing is a fucking cut back on the floor, right? On the ground like it skids across the grass. He cuts it back onto Benzema's head. A cut back onto Benzema's head. To a straight physics. A triangle, man. Onto his head. Cuts it back onto his head. First, to see him coming. Right? And to have the execution to find him. That is talent. That's fucking talent. Right? So anyway, he does that. Right? And Benzema, cool as you like. Just knows where to place it, how to place it, the technique. And how, dude, 11 out of 10 for technique. Just lobs it over Mendy from... Dude, you have to understand that this header wasn't like from, you know, like just for 5 yards out. No. This header was from like 20 yards out. 25 yards out. You score with your head, how disrespectful. But it was fucking brilliant execution by Mr. Karim, yo. Right? And that's when all hell broke loose. Right? All hell broke loose because Karim gets the second opportunity again from Vinicius. Oh, no, not from Vinicius. But this time, he hits the ball. Same technique. Running back. He's running back, not running forward, but he hits the ball running back. But he hits it to the direction he's not running to. You know what I mean? He's running back and heads to the direction he's not running to. And the ball just curves into that, like, in that direction and curves into the net. Extraordinary finishing. Like, world class. Like, you know, can't say much more than that, man. Right? So yeah, Chelsea get a goal back. Lukaku comes on in the second half. You know, I don't think he even touched the ball. Or maybe he did once. Right? Fuck. And like, it ends 3-1. 3-1 to Real Madrid. And fucking Chelsea must be fucking, you know, just, I don't know, like, fuck. They'll be like, boy, thank fucking, you know, UEFA, the away goal rules doesn't count, because in reality, that scoreline, if the away goals rule, we discussed this on our last episode of the podcast, that, you know, the away goal rule for UEFA was removed, you know, which meant that if it was not, this match was dead. This tie was dead, because Chelsea would have needed like 5 goals, right? 5 goals at least without reply to qualify. Right? Now they just need like 2 without reply to like go to extra time and, you know, penalties and all that shit. Now they just need like 2 goals to do that shit. You know? But anyway, must be thanking you for me, and you know. But yeah, it's a lot, man. Like, fuck. It's a lot for the team. Sure, it's an unfortunate, you know. It's almost as unfortunate as Bayern getting stunned by Villarreal, you know. A team that I disowned in La Liga this season. Like, I'm not following this team, man. You know. All of a sudden, they just came back. Right? I mean, I followed because it was a good team, but they started doing like, fuck shit, you know. Just started doing fuck shit, you know, like, okay, I can't. Right? So yeah, they stunned Bayern 1-0. And I don't know what their ambitions is, you know. Maybe they want to win. I really don't know what Villarreal's ambition is. Do they want to go to the semi-final, right? Because if they just hold out for a draw, they go to the semi-final. You know? Yeah, so I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. I don't think Bayern wants to bow out. I wouldn't think of any reason that Bayern want to bow. But I will tell you this, right? Because, okay, we know that City, you know, City and Liverpool just strided past, their ties, the UEFA Champions League ties, because they have an important, I guess the most important match at the moment. You cannot disagree with that shit, right? In the world, right? So they just strided through, like 3-1, Liverpool won, and City like 1-1 against like a defense, basically, City won 1-0 in defense training, right? I get what Diego Simeone was doing, but if he drew, I would make fun. However, because he lost by a goal, because like loss is a big thing now, because now you cannot just sit back and hope for penalties, right? So if he drew the game, it was something, right? It's because that's why you do that, to draw the game, right? Anyway, so yeah, City and Liverpool on their horses, like old cowboys, man, Western, right? Got their gold and all that, striding through, right, the desert and shit. Is the desert? It's always like sandy. I don't think it's the desert. I just think it's sandy. Right. But yeah, so that was the UEFA Champions League fixtures, That was kind of like, it was great football. That was a great footballing week. Like the previous week was fuck shit, but this shit, this week, this shit was the fuck shit, right? I mean, was the fucking shit, right? Was the fucking shit. It was not fuck shit. Right. So yeah, but moving on to the European Championship, which is, I guess, I'm afraid of saying it's sister, because now they're gonna be like, oh no, because it's below, and throwing shade, right? So I don't know. It will be the Europa competition. It will be the sister competition of the UEFA Champions League, which is the European Champions League, and we had games playing. I'm sorry. And we had games playing, right? West Ham, fucking great game that they played. Great team, great manager. We know this. David Moyes doing the things again. I mean, they almost won the game with 10 men. Can you believe this? Against the top French side in the Uber Eats League, man. That's making me not hungry, right? In the Uber Eats League, yeah, they beat Lyon. I mean, they didn't beat Lyon, they drew. They ended up drawing, but they scored first, and they were 10 men down. Like, what? Talk about structure. You see, if you're gonna park a bus, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Or let me just say, West Ham did it better, because, like, they were not playing against Manchester City, right? And Manchester, like, it took a former English Premier League player from Tottenham, who's still a Premier League player, he's just on loan at Lyon, to like save it for Lyon, right? Save it for Lyon. So yeah, credit to West Ham, Mr. David Moyes, right? And then talking about great managers that we're seeing coming up, Xavi, Xavi, Mr. Xavi, right? It's weird when you say Xavi without Iniesta, but Mr. Xavi is now the manager of Barcelona, and Not now, but he's been for a while now. If you don't know, the previous podcast, we mentioned that he's been unbeaten for the last, 14 games. God damn. With like 20% draws and majority wins. Of course. Right? Staying on course. He also drew a game, but came back from behind to remain unbeaten against the European side as well. You know, the sad part of this is that I don't know, or we don't know. It's just me, but I like saying we, right? Because smoke, no. I don't know how it's gonna turn out in the second leg. I mean, you never know, but I don't even feel how it's gonna turn out in the second leg. You know what I'm saying? Like both these, all three of these matches, the Villarreal versus Bayern, fucking Barcelona versus Eintracht, right? Frankfurt, right? And then what's the other one? West Ham. I think I have an idea, right? I have an idea, but yeah, you know. I mean, they came back from 11. I mean, they almost won with 10 men. You know, almost won with 10 men. But anyway, but the reason I think we're getting these weird results, you know, like Villarreal's and, you know, Frankfurt drawing with Barcelona and I think it's because the World Cup is coming up. You know, the FIFA 2022 World Cup is coming up. It's going to be hosted in Qatar, right? Doha. Middle East, right? I think I need to get the gear, right? But the Middle East always confused me because I don't know why they named it the Middle East, you know, because it's like a province that we have in South Africa called the Northwest. I mean, it's the Northwest of what, you know? So like the Middle East way, like Middle East of what, like, you know, it's the Middle East. You know, it's like a direction rather than a place. But anyway, Middle East, you get that, like, right? So that's why I guess the better name is like the UAE or something like that. Oh yeah, I guess so. The United Arab Emirates. You know, I think we need also like a United African Emirates. You know. Like the UAE, there's 2 UAEs, yeah, yes, okay. So yeah, the reason for these weird results, I'm guessing, is because there's a World Cup coming up, and because there's a World Cup coming up, you want to be picked for your squad, right? And just like how in the World Cup we have like small nations like beating like big nations, you know, I mean via I'll just put it clear. Talent, market value, and not talent, but you cannot measure talent, but market value and title credentials, and you know what I mean? Those kind of things. Like championships, you know, nations that have players that have that, and nations with players that don't have that. You know, you have nations with players that don't have that, beating nations with players that have that. You know, you could say it's because of hard. Yes, I believe that mostly it's because of hard. You know, hard work, and you know all the stuff that just comes together. That's why I still believe the PSL, the South African Premier Division, is in the top 5 football leagues in the world. Still believe that, you know, in the world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like they have heart and talent and will and stuff like that. So those kind of results come out because they won the title, and you know, it seems they're there, like you're there to take that opportunity, right? So I guess that's why the matches are going the way they are, because like, yo, a lot of hearts coming out, man, right? And heart, most of the time when you have heart, you beat, you know, like the bag. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like if it's a choice between heart and the bag, when you have heart or the bag, and like, I don't know, yeah, when you have heart, you tend to take heart. Anyway. Really? Is that what I'm here for, Tommy? Hey, sorry. So yeah, so the World Cup's coming up. The groups are interesting, and I'll tell you what, man. We have 4 teams. We have 4 teams that we're gonna be following for the World Cup. That we're gonna be supporting, and that would be the former. And I'm gonna explain why I'm supporting these teams, for the World Cup. Just after I say the name France. Why? Because I think they can do it back to back. It would be a dope. They would do it back to back, but it's hard, like calling it before, like even 7 months. You don't even know the emotions yet. Or we're all feeling something different, right? Like even tomorrow you'll be feeling different. You get what I'm saying? So this is just like for now, right? We're just saying France, right? Because we believe that they can do it back to back. England. It would be dope that they do it back to back. England. It would be nice for Harry Kane to win a World Cup, right? Because he hasn't won anything with his team, and he's like one of the best strikers in the world, if not. He's the best striker in the world up until. Okay, at the moment it's Karim, but for sure today we'll see what he does. We'll see what he does today. Oh, I'm sorry. No. The guy gave 5 assists in the previous game. He gave 3 assists in the previous game. He gave 2 goals in that previous. Fuck nah. He's still the best striker in the fucking world. Doing this in the Premier League, bro. Right? Sure. No, kudos to Karim, right? Kudos to Karim. Nothing else. And we have Argentina. Why? Man, there's only one reason, and there's the great Lionel Messi. For him to win a World Cup would be extraordinary, right? Of course. And Senegal for the first African team to win a World Cup. Sadio, play your football, man. Spider-Man, right? Just play your football, right? So yeah, that was, that's our teams for the World Cup, and that's the backstory of why we're picking them. Maybe it might change depending on how we'll feel in like 7 months or 8 months, but that's how it's the ways I see it, man. Right? Yo, let's move. Let's give me a headache. I'm gonna move slightly, right? I'm gonna move slightly, and I'm gonna move to the MLB. So what? Major League Baseball, yo. The games yesterday, and it was fucking. Alright, we're back. Apologies for the cussing. I think I did that so I could just remind myself what I was cussing about. And I think I was talking about the MLB, the Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is back, and it was opening day, and you had the Yankees versus the Red Sox. Right? At home, the Yankees were playing the Red Sox, and the Yankees won the game 6-5. 6-5. I think they won the first 4 innings, which was a major beat, right? I think they won the first 4 innings, and they were able to do. But the funny thing is that they won at home, which is why is it funny? Because they beat Boston at home, which means, well, in my mind, it means that now. That means Boston is bigger than New York globally. Right? Like globally, Boston is worldwide. Boston is is bigger than New York. So yeah, that's a game, right? But we flipped the page, man! And we have the Seattle Mariners versus the Minnesota Twins, right? Going 2 in the first inning, and then going for a shutout, and be like, yo, maybe. Shutout, right? Seattle Mariners not destroying, but a football match score line, which in my book, if a football match was like that, in my book it was a good match, right? If they won like that, like 1-0 in the first half, second half 1-0, and maybe at the 75th minute we'll give you a goal. I'm sorry, you'll score a goal, asterisk. Right? Right. What you say, man? Right. So yeah, the Seattle Mariners winning their match on opening day, baby. Right? Fuck. But yo, don't take my baseball analytics seriously on this podcast, right? But the match picks, if there's a baseball match pick that's on the Fixasport Instagram page where we have the match picks on a bi-weekly basis, man. Right? They'll be there. If MLB fixtures there, then you can take that serious. But this you'll just take it as entertainment, man. Right? 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 Sorry. So yeah, like fuck. That's like we said. That's our adopted team. Gonna be with them all season. Right? Lace them. Right? Yeah. Anyway. So to explain, the Betty died, and there was a cut, so I just basically went to go roll a blunt, came back. I don't want to end the podcast, man, because I love you guys, man. Right? I don't want to do that. So I just quickly went to see if I can go find the charger and plugged it in. Right? And then left it for a while. Right? And smoked up and came back and we're good to go. It's like nothing happened, man. Right? So yeah. Fuck. ESPN. Oh yeah, the ESPN news. I saw a headline that was like, it wasn't as bad as the breaking news. Bruno Fernandes signs a contract extension headline. It wasn't as bad as that. Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't bad at all. But it was like, okay. It basically read, at 25, Messi won 5 Ballon d'Ors or 4 Ballon d'Ors, right? It basically won them in a row, basically. So in my book, if you do anything 4 times in a row and you fucking great at it, if you're a fucking GOAT, right? So it's like Messi did that, won like Ballon d'Or like 4 times in a row, which was crazy, which is crazy. Sebastian Vettel did that with I think Michael Schumacher also kind of did that. I don't know, but Sebastian Vettel, if we're talking F1, right? Right. Fucking don't want to race when it's fucking raining, drizzling, fucking drizzle. Man. What? Fuck! Don't get me fucking started on that shit, right? Anyway, so yeah, it's like Sebastian Vettel wins the F1 Grand Prix 4 times in a row in a Renault, right? And talking about F1 right now, like if you're not driving a Honda engine, bro, it's over. It is over. If you're not driving a Honda engine, it's over because you've seen what the Japanese do with engines, man. They like fuck it up, Like, dude. I mean, it's not a Honda, but it's Japanese. Like Nissan has the Nissan GTR, right? Which is like the monster of supercars. And if you know cars, you know that thing has a V6, right? And it damages cars with V12s, like supercars, like Lamborghinis, Ferrari, Lamborghini, right? But Lamborghini you shouldn't pronounce. It's a fucking Lamborghini. You can pronounce Ferrari like that, Change my tire on the Ferrari, yeah. So it beats those cars, those supercars that they, So now a Japanese manufacturer, because before it was Renault, Red Bull was Renault. So a Japanese manufacturer is now in F1 and they're driving the Honda. And it's a Honda engine in the Red Bull car. So you're like, what? Check the top speeds and it blows Mercedes, out the water. And you're like, fuck, they probably improved the shit this season. And you saw the switch that they did with Ferrari there, and you're like, what? Just the easy kind of from switch, man. Because of the whole DSR shit, which I don't get. Still don't understand. But you can see the power difference. Like when he lost it, the commentators went crazy. Like, oh shit! Charles Leclerc now has it. He's number one, going for pole position. Right. And in the next lap, the Red Bull car just did the same. It was a move because Charles did a move. The Red Bull car just did a move, and then he just went past him, And granted, the commentators were like, yeah, he just did the same move and he just went past. Right. DSR, now he has him pole. Yeah. So if you don't have it, you fucked. If you're not driving Honda, you fucked, basically, right? And I thought Lewis Hamilton retired. I thought he was retiring. Man, fuck. Right? Now they're giving you all this bullshit with the laws and shit like that, because you said you're retiring. And you see, he's the other one. That's why I thought there's like an undercover competition about goats and stuff like that. He's like Lewis Hamilton is the other dude. But anyway, we're talking about before this. I even forgot. Right? Oh, winning things 4 times in a row. Championships like 4 times in a row, right? So and then, ESPN headline goes like, Lionel Messi by 25 he won. For like, but how do the other players feel? He's like, then they're like, but at this age, like no player has even won Ballon d'Or. But the thing is, at 26, at 27, at 28, at 29, at 30, at 31, you know who was playing? You know who was still on the pitch? Lionel Messi. Leo was still on the pitch. He was still playing, right? So I think he's just pissed because you're about to turn 25 and you haven't you feel like you haven't won, anything in life. Shit, really, man. Is that why? Is that why? Dude, my battery died, and I just went to go smoke a blunt and came back. And now I'm doing my podcast again. Dude, I'm living the dream, man. Right. What do you do when your phone battery dies? What do you do? Well, I charge it. Well, you charge it. You charge it and do what? Charge it and do what? Well, I charge it and like nothing exactly. Right? Fuck. Right? Fuck. Anyway, shut up. So that was the podcast. This is episode 5, people, and we go for episode 6. You fucking know it. And check Fixasport Instagram page to check out bi-weekly match picks. They'll be there. Take them one by one. As we always say, winners take game by game all season long. That's how you should do it. Just, it's hard, but that's how you should do it. Right? See you on the next episode, dudes and dudettes. And we out.